Hi, this is the help video for Access Chapter 3. This is 3.2. Let's see what I'm at. Guided Project 3.2. So I started by downloading the start file and the optional solution file. And I have that up and enabled, so I have that done. I want to talk a little bit about, excuse me, about what we're doing here. We're going to build 3 queries. The first one is to, in Design View, create, edit, and add aggregate functions to say how much total dollar value of the rentals for each boat in the fleet. So we're going to do that first one, and that'll be in this movie. Then the second one would be to use that aggregate function and add a parameter. And then the third one would be to create a query to find out what boats have been rented. Okay. So let's take a look at what we have here. We've got sailboat fleet and SD rentals. So if you take a look at the sailboat fleet, you'll see that in Design View we have this boat ID. That's the primary key. So then if we look at rentals in Design View, we see that the boat ID is repeated. Because it's repeated in this table and it's the primary key in the other table, it becomes the foreign key in here. So that's the thing that connects the two tables. So if we look at database tools, relationships, this is a nice way to get an overview of what is going on in the database. So we can see that we have sailboat fleet to sailboat rental. So if we wanted to analyze this, every boat in the fleet has one record, and that boat is identified by the boat ID. That's the primary key that makes it unique. That boat can be rented many, many times, right? That would be a good business, is if you could have your boat rented out multiple times. So that boat ID is repeated over here in rentals as the foreign key. Notice the connector. So the line means that there's a relationship here. The one infinity means that referential integrity has been applied, meaning you can't rent a boat if that boat isn't in the fleet, which kind of makes sense, right? So if we were to double click on that line, we could see it's a one-to-many relationship. So anytime you want to go into a database and just kind of get the lay of the land, go to relationships and it should help you. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to begin in Design View, Query Design. We want to add sailboat fleet and rental and open those up. I'm going to bring my grid up, and it's asking you to use the drop down here. I just never do this, but we'll do it because that's how they would say to. Click that down arrow, and we want to find FK boat ID, right? So one of the reasons I don't like it is see how it cuts everything off. I could have just simply come up here and double clicked. Boat type, full day rental, and 4-day rental, or 4-hour question mark. Okay, what I want to do is add the total button because we want to look at this in aggregate. We don't want to see it each record, right? We want to get some totals in here. So in order to go down that path to get those aggregate statistics, we need to add the total row in. So we're going to click on total. It's going to put this in here. And right now, everything is just set to a group by. So if I run it, I'm going to get 12. This says 16. It's wrong. 12 is what you're going to get. So let's go back and continue on with that. So we're going to be back in Design View, and we're grouping by ID and boat type. Then in full day rental, we want in the group by, we want to change it from group by to sum. We want a total. So right now we're going to get the boat, one line for each of these rentals total. But we only want the full day rental. We don't want anything that's the 4 hour. So what we need to do, let me click these out. In this group by for the 4 hour, we're going to click and we're going to make that a where clause. So we're not going to see this, but we're going to use it to qualify what we're doing over here. So where, and then the criteria is no. And this IntelliSense is going to put like now, hit your space bar. So it'll change it to no there. Okay, so let's run it now and see what we get. Oh, that didn't quite work. Okay, so my issue, this is why I don't like to do these, is when I click this to select it, let me get rid of this and show you what I did and how to fix it. I did this and I saw 4 hour, right? But look, it's 4 hour rental rate. That's not the right one. We needed to come down here to the SD rentals and put that in. So it should be from the SD rentals is whether or not it was rented, right? And then we're going to switch this to where is no escape. Now if I run it, I get the boat once. I get a total for that boat of rentals for excluding the partial days, the 4 hour rents. Okay, so right here when you did, let me do this again. Let me delete that. When you do this drop down, don't pick this first one that looks like it says 4 hour, right? We want this 4 hour rental, not the 4 hour rental rate. So it's got to be from the rental. So I suggest you come up here and double click on that. That way you know you're getting the right thing. Click this to where, do no escape, run it, and we're good. So now we can save this as full day rentals by boat summary. Okay. And we're done with that. So the next movie will pick up at step number 7. Thank you.